This episode of the Two Idiots Podcast is brought to you in part by Adorned by Ruth. Valentine's Day is coming, folks. Are you looking for a unique gift to wow your special person? Check out Adorned by Ruth, a local jewelry brand that offers one-of-a-kind, high-quality earrings, bracelets, and necklaces.
Adorned by Ruth jewelry is made using sterling silver and gold-filled metal. Gold-filled is recommended by jewelers as a great alternative to solid gold because of its high content of gold as opposed to gold-plated jewelry. It's durable, water-resistant, and a fraction of the cost of solid gold.
Adorned by Ruth jewelry can be found on Etsy as well as on her website, which is adornedbyruth.com. If you're searching on Etsy, though, type the name without spaces, and Ruth also makes custom pieces and will work with you to create the jewelry item you want.
Adorned by Ruth makes gifting easy. Each jewelry piece comes packaged in a beautiful branded gift box, so it's gifting ready. If you want to add your own message, just leave her a note at checkout and she'll hand print it onto a gift card. TIP listeners get a special discount code that can be used at both the AR website and Etsy store from now until February 14th. Use code TIP10, that's TIP10, for a 10% discount on your cart total.
And if you're a local buyer, you can leave Ruth a note at checkout on either her website or on Etsy to arrange a contactless order, drop-off, or pickup for COVID, all that good stuff. So definitely check out adornedbyruth.com and also her Etsy store, etsy.com/ca/shop/adornedbyruth.
You can also find Ruth on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest.
Boom. Check her out, folks. This episode is brought to you in part by Keystone Designs. They are a local creative brand. They deal with graphic, web design, social media strategy, decals, signage, branding, everything that you need to build your business. They are available for you.
They do it all. They do it all, people. You know, the value they bring is building a recognizable and super slick brand that reflects what's offered by your business. And they can bring it all online, convert eyes to customers through engaging websites and marketing campaigns. Exactly. They're going to get people to see your stuff.
See your stuff. They're going to get to you. And I found them by accident, basically because their social media is so clean and so crisp, and it's very smooth, and it's very nice looking. And
really draws the eye. They're going to draw the eye to you.
Much like the keystone on an arched way. Ha ha ha.
Wow, it's like they thought about that.
Almost like they planned it out.
They put so much more thought into their stuff than we do into our stuff. It's insane.
Oh, by 100 miles. So Keystone Design, go to keystonedesign.ca. Check out their website. Hire them. Get your shit made. Get your shit done. We should probably get them to take care of our social media, frankly, if we're being honest. But
yeah.
But definitely check them out. Give them a follow. Check out their clean content. If you need something made. We're in the gig economy, folks. If you need something made to create your social media brand or your website, all that jazz, check them out.
And you'd be supporting a local business at the same time. Look at you. Look at you doing it all. Look at you killing this pandemic thing.
#support local, folks.
Some gentlemen.
Oh,
the other sexy beat.
We ain't got nothing on you, sir.
That's right.
Awesome. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Awesome.
Did you get balder since I last saw you?
Yeah. Actually, I shine it up on Saturdays.
Get the extra chrome on the dome.
Put it in
exactly. The girls.
Bowling ball polisher. Yeah.
You know me and the girls.
And the girls.
Yeah. Okay, there's only one. But...
Better than none.
Yeah, and she doesn't really care if I'm bald or not.
There you go.
That works out.
That's all you can hope for.
Yeah.
Well, she only looks at me twice a week now. We've been married for a while.
Okay, I'm going to start recording the video here, and then we can cut it down however we want. Cool.
This call is now being recorded.
Recording.
We got you on tape, motherfucker.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yep. Now we just need your credit card PIN and your everything.
Social insurance number?
Yeah, a void check would probably work too.
Yeah.
Okay, it is hold on. I have it in my pocket.
Oh, Donnie. Okay, well, let's get into it here. All right. Hello, everyone. We might just include that cold open. We'll see. But welcome to the Two Idiots podcast. I'm Reg.
I'm Randy.
And joining us this week, we have a friend of the show, longtime listener, relative of Randy, Mr. Donny Hammer.
Esteemed family member.
Yeah.
The still crowned king because I couldn't defeat him on my 18th birthday.
But you did get teabagged.
I did. Not my finest moment. And I saw picture evidence of it the other day.
I forgot about that. What the champ of drinking, right? We should clarify, just so people.
Yes. The drinking champ. I so boldly thought I could beat Mr. Donny Hammer, our esteemed guest today. I so boldly thought I could beat him with all my infinite wisdom at 18 years old. And I threw up twice that night.
It's fair.
And I did not.
Yeah. Maybe
I had the good old rally puke in Steinbach Bar. It was I went to the bathroom, was gonna make it, wasn't gonna make a mess, and then thought, oh shit, I gotta shut the door behind me for the stall. And as I turned around, it just laid bare on the floor.
Full disclosure, when we were in when we were in Cuba, right before, lockdown and stuff, I got so drunk the one day I actually threw up and peed myself at the same time.
Nice.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's
Luckily,
impressive.
it was mostly on purpose because I was at the swim bar, as you are, and it got super trashed. It was way too hot, so I was a mixture of like dehydration plus drinking way too much. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hurl. So I ate something, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely still gonna hurl. So I went to the bathroom, but because I was drinking, the seal had already been broken like a while ago. So I'm throwing up, but I'm wearing my wet trunks anyway. I was in the bathroom, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just pee too, because who gives a fuck? So I'm like just like leaning over the toilet, just throwing up, and just pissed it. Just give her.
like a fucking sick dog.
Yeah. Just let it happen. Nobody will even know because I was drenched from the pool anyway. And yeah, that happened. Yep.
Maybe you're the king now.
The king of something. The king of something. Oh, fuck.
Support for the Two Idiots podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best men's below-the-waist grooming. Big news! Manscaped has just released their new cologne scent to help you feel good and smell good all over and at all times.
Hoorah! Who knew smelling this good
Hoorah.
could feel this good too? Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. Probably some women too. Probably some non-anything people. They're trusted by a lot of people. Join the movement for all your below-the-waist grooming needs. I smelled this stuff. It's pretty great. I like it.
It is pretty delicious. It's got nice, citrus
Delicious.
hints to it.
You're not
It's real
supposed to
good.
drink it.
Well, Reg, if you're going to try a product, you got to try all aspects of a product. Okay, taste, smell, touch, feel, hearing.
Umami.
You want to get to hear it spray out of the bottle.
Just spray it right into your ear.
But look, frankly, we've all been around people who, in public, and even ourselves at points where it's like, oh, I don't smell very good today.
Yeah.
Or perhaps the person next to you on the bus doesn't smell very good today. Either way, you want them to smell good. And this is what Manscaped is going to do for you.
Or you go throwback to high school when there'd be the kids that would go to gym class. First of all, that's weird that we even have gym class that you make kids run around for an hour and then you have to go back to class. But anyway, you'd have the kids that wouldn't shower for likely days, and then they just spray themselves with Axe and smell like shit.
For the kid who forgets their stuff and they wear like jeans and a sweater when they're running the beep test.
Yeah, exactly. There was a guy that I worked with. I don't even remember his name, but during break they had a computer room and you could go in there and whatever, check Facebook, check emails, do whatever you're going to do. This is way back. But before smartphones. But then so this one guy would go in there and you always knew that he had been in there because the scent would linger. Like you would almost eat it as you walked into the room.
Yeah, you walk in there and you're like, what the cooking?
Yeah, exactly. So avoid that by getting yourself some Manscaped cologne.
Mm-hmm.
Get some.
Now, everyone knows Manscaped has the perfect package 3.0. We've been over it a lot for all your below-the-belt waist grooming needs, but they didn't stop there. Complete your grooming game with the new refined cologne signature scent by Manscaped.
Exactly. And make sure you don't spray that on your balls because that probably won't feel very nice, but they actually have scented things for that. So with the same signature scent that's in all Manscaped formulas, this cologne is a perfect complement to the collection. Light, approachable, and gentlemanly in all the right ways, like Randy. Think of it as your wingman for the night to keep you fresh and ready for anything.
Ooh, hey.
Except during COVID.
Calming and inviting, this signature scent introduces a light citrus burst before settling into the anchoring notes of vetiver and a woodsy masculine finish, much like Reg. This 50 ml spray cologne is hypoallergenic, cruelty-free, dye-free, paraben-free, and 100% vegan.
I don't know what vetiver means, but I'm going to take that as a compliment. This beautifully designed glass bottle makes a statement, and the manly scent is attractive to set the mood.
It does look good. It's a very nice looking bottle. It's one you'd be proud to have on your shelf. So, and also, like as you're at it, you're picking up your cologne online, be sure to check out the Perfect Package 3.0 with all the essentials for your below-the-waist grooming and needs, including the Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer and the crop formulations. Yes, I'm talking about ball deodorant and toner to keep your testes besties.
Yep. And now you can use the new Manscaped Refined Cologne to complete your set and smell great anytime, anywhere. It's time for you to feel sexy, Canada.
Sexy. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code IDIOTS at manscaped.com. Your balls and body will thank you.
Yes. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code IDIOTS, IDIOTS, at manscaped.com. 20% off, free shipping, manscaped.com, code IDIOTS. Look good, smell good, feel good with Manscaped and the two idiots.
Anyway, welcome here, Donny. You well, you're gonna say something?
No, I just said that was too good.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was a thing. I miss going on vacation.
Yes, I miss visiting family and I miss seeing everyone. So it's awesome we can do that. Do this.
Donnie's just like, I just need to get on the podcast so I can actually see these guys.
Yeah, exactly.
I hear you guys every week.
There you go. Yeah, so you reached out. We discussed, I think it was end of last year sometime, but having you on, and you were real excited to join us again, or not again, to join us. Why, Donnie? Why do you want to be on the podcast? Tell us.
Well, you know what, guys? I'll be honest with you. I think that I have some life history I'd like to share with your listeners.
Oh, Jesus.
And I would really like to show the little children that are watching. No, you know what, guys? I think you're doing a great thing. You have some great listeners. I wanted to be on because I'm proud of you guys for, 100 episodes. The way that I've watched you guys grow up, from wee lads and your backyard parties and Nerf guns fights and hockey stick fights. I just wanted to be on and say I was on the 101st episode.
Well, it might be the 102nd.
Well,
we're not sure yet. But you'll definitely be on in the first 2 weeks after the 100th episode.
If I'm not the 101st, I'm evoking my rights.
The Riot Act. Invoke the Riot Act. We're burning this all of this down. We can make you the 101st. We'll see. We'll play it by ear.
I'm your Instagram.
Please do.
As the firstborn son of Geraldine Hammer, I invoke my right.
That's fair. All right. No, I think the hierarchy is clear. I think you do need to take it over. Fuck. No, this is good.
Man.
Like I was telling Randy, I didn't plan anything for this, so this is just going to be a goofy, whatever time. So let's start with Donnie. What's your earliest memory of Randy, and was he naked at the time?
Oh man. Well, my earliest memory, I would say, I think he was about 10 months old, and I was just proud to be, this coming home and seeing this kid grow up. I loved him so much, and I went to go pick him up, and we were in our house in St. Malo, and I went to go pick him up and throw him up in the air, and whack, he hit the ceiling. I felt bad for about 3 seconds, and then he started laughing. So then I was like, he's
like,
this kid's my guy now.
Yeah, as he
Frankly, it explains a lot today.
It does. Don't let him go to sleep.
Yeah,
the bump never went away.
You know what? He was a blessing to all of us when he was born, and as much as he may have looked up to me, I looked up to him in lots of stuff too. So
Jesus Christ, I didn't want to cry today, Donnie. Okay.
Yeah, well, you should, because I'm a very emotional 46-year-old man.
I'm a very emotional 30-year-old man. Anyone who was at my wedding will testify.
Let's just get the cry out of the way now.
All right, everybody, time to weep. We're going to have a moment of crying, and we'll be back. No. It's very sweet. Very sweet. Yeah, I mean, what's your earliest memory of me, Donnie?
Well, Reg, I remember the first time I actually met you, actually. You walked into the house, and Mom was sitting at the kitchen table. I had come over to visit, and Mom was sitting at the kitchen table with her smoke and her glasses and her novel on the table. And you walked in, and you went, "Hey, Mom." And I went, "Who the hell's this kid?" And then the twins came in, and then I was like, "Oh, yeah. Now I got to be Uncle Donnie."
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Gerri.
And I'm pretty sure we drank.
Probably.
It's almost a certainty.
Pepsi.
Only Pepsis.
Only Pepsi.
Well, yeah. Mostly Pepsis. Yeah.
Yes, mostly. With whiskey.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. It's still just Pepsi.
You know, for the people who may not know, like, Donnie was a very big part of our formative drinking years. From the 17 through 22 range.
We didn't drink when we were 17, Randy. Well, I didn't.
I did. I don't know about you.
I actually didn't. First time I got drunk, I was 18.
True. When you puked the jujubes on my bed.
Mm-hmm. All over the place. Yeah.
All over.
Yeah, it was rough.
It was awful.
This episode's just going to be about Reg throwing up, apparently, and Randy throwing up, and Donnie not throwing up, apparently. Christ. Good times, though.
Yes, we had many, many good times.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely things I look back at now, and I'm all like, I'm good with that life. I'm good with being part of all that.
Yeah. So, you're calling us from, Winkler, Morden, one of those Jan Seed places?
Winkler, yeah.
Oh, gross.
Dit Seed.
No, Jan Seed.
Oh, no, you're Dit Seed.
No. How's life on the shitty side of the river?
You know what, guys? I fell in love with this area when I moved here in 1996. It was a great place to raise kids, and it was, everything. But man, if I could change some things,
Whew, I know that feeling.
List. And that list is long.
Yeah, we have some interesting goings-ons over here too that isn't super great, but I'm in the minority of most things in this town, so.
Yeah.
True.
You know what? You guys, and that's one thing I like about your show, is that it's just no holds barred, right? You guys feel the way you feel, and we should all do that. The problem is when you get involved in certain things, and I'd like to say that I'm involved in business developments and stuff in Winkler, but I'll tell you that it's a tough situation to be part of. I'm a strong believer in part-time workers. I'm a strong believer in the small businesses, but I don't know how they get through this. I just don't know, right? And I just think that, pushing legislation or legislation and pushing restrictions and doing all those things I look at it and I go, hey man, you know what? All we're doing is we're taking the small guys that are interested, guys your age, that, hey, you know what? Maybe you want to open up your own business.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking 5-10 years down the road before you can even think of an opportunity
Oh, for sure.
like that.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I think that sucks.
I feel the same way, and it's so silly because I believe that we need to do things to take care of COVID, and if restrictions are what that is, then be that as it may. But this government is so completely fucked that you can't tell a company or a business, especially a small one, to say you can't be open, but we're not going to give you more than $5,000 to last you till the new year. Like, well, you can't have it both ways. You either tell them to close and give them support so that they don't close before then, or you leave them open as best as you can and you limit, how many people and blah, blah, blah. But like, you can't have it both ways. You can't shut them down and not help them.
Yeah. Well, and I'd say from the start too, like it sucks for the mom and pop shops that maybe they don't have the square footage the Walmarts do, right? So maybe you have 8 people at a time in their store as opposed to 372 in this store. Like, where's the exposure risk is far less in these small businesses.
Yeah.
And every time the government gets together, they all harp on all these are coming from gatherings. It's coming from gatherings. It's coming from, well, then why can't we open the businesses back up?
Absolutely. I was watching the news this morning, and Toronto, Ontario is active cases through the roof. They're talking about opening up like COVID stadiums for people to, if you have COVID, they're going to now to eliminate hospital capacities, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they show this news channel, and it's showing people walking down like main drags still, and I'm not saying exercise isn't important, because it is. You would never tell with my body type, but it is important.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that.
Yeah.
But you see all these people walking around. I run a business in town here, and our business shut down for curbside business only.
Yeah.
The business is still thriving. Is it different? Absolutely. But you go into Walmart any day of the week and you're going to see 75, 80 people shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And don't tell me all of those 80 people are 6 feet apart or and they might all be wearing masks, which is fantastic, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think that when you're talking about them walking 2 steps out of a building, pulling a mask off their face, walking to the car, stopping and talking with 5 other people about what they just bought, that's not restrictions. You're literally, for the 15 minutes you're in there shopping, you're limiting the exposure. But the 45 minutes they just spent outside talking to but Abe.
Yeah, spaziering. Yeah.
Right?
Dave och Young, vad där står det?
Ja, but you.
Najo.
But I think that's my biggest thing. They extended the restrictions. I walked outside work, and there was a group of 15 Mennonites, Mexican Mennonites, talking, no masks, no nothing, just right outside the doors.
Yeah.
And they all have masks in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, people just don't understand that. It's the tracing of the virus that's getting us. It's not.
Yeah.
If Randy and Darius are staying at home and they're going to work and coming home, and Reg and Kat are going to work and coming home, why can't Reg and Randy get together? Because they're doing the exact same thing.
Oh, for sure.
But it's the people you guys see that aren't taking it seriously that make it impossible to do that, right?
Well, and with my job, we'll be as vague as we can be, but I basically, I go into sometimes upwards of 10, 12 buildings a day, and I don't know who's been there, who's worked there last, who's doing what. A couple of coworkers recently they both got fined because they were in a work vehicle and neither of them were wearing masks, and someone ratted them out. And so then they each got that $1,300 fine, and then the company got a $5,000 fine. And it's just, I get it. You can think it's stupid, and in many ways it is, but the rules are rules. And if you're a public facing business, you got to sort of just do it. But that being said, I just stay home most of the time. I don't really interact with anybody.
But Reg, I think that you nailed it on the head, right? Restrictions say you have to do this,
Yeah.
or you're going to get a fine. Or it's no different than putting a speed limit at 100 and you do 120 and you get a ticket. You broke the rule.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So
It's so funny to
Right?
me. I don't, like I said, we recently had another protest just yesterday in town here, and listening to actually, I should play the video. Someone filmed. They don't need the exposure, but I'm going to do it anyway. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this, but I'm going to put it up to my so basically this was on the steps of Steinbach City Hall, which the mayor asked them to not do. I mean, he can't actually tell them no, but
Right.
they didn't ask for permission. They didn't ask for anything. They just sort of showed up. And this is I don't know if you'll be able to hear it very well, but.
Blue skies when the chemtrails are all gone. There'll be blue skies when the chemtrails all are gone. Pardon me. There'll be blue skies when the chemtrails and the evil plan fails. There'll be blue skies when chemtrails are all gone. Singing we are the 99%. Singing we are the 99%.
It's so bad.
Singing we are the 90. Together we are mighty. We are the 99%. You can stick your coronavirus up your arse. You can stick your...
All right, that's enough of that.
Jesus.
But that was someone standing.
You know what my problem with that is, guys?
What?
Somebody took the time to write a song.
Right? Yeah. And like she's not even a
Sit
good
on
singer.
The steps of Town Hall Steinbach.
Yeah, it's just I get it. It sucks. A lot of it sucks, and there's a lot of issues, and there's real problems. But you standing on the steps of our local town hall or whatever, telling you to shove Corona up your arse isn't gonna keep your grandma from getting it in the home and maybe dying, right? Like, it's just, you can't, as much as we're all tired of it, as much as we all want it to be gone, just saying, oh, it's all bullshit doesn't make it gone. It drives me nuts.
Absolutely. 200 cases a day, right?
Yeah.
Now everyone says, oh, only 200 cases. Look at Ontario with 4,000 or 5,000. Well, they have 10 times the population we have.
Oh, more.
Right?
Yeah.
So 5,000 to them is our 300, for per capita. So, I don't know. There's a Manitoba website now. It's engage whatever Manitoba.ca.
Do that survey or whatever.
So I filled out the survey online and stuff. It's actually pretty cool question that they ask you. I wasn't really excited about giving my email up. Pallister doesn't need to know my email.
Yeah, they're gonna send you a lot of spam and a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah,
now that,
exactly. Yeah.
Well, just
That's
like when
I'll send them a dick pic.
yeah, just send it right to him. You can find Pallister's email right online. It's not that hard. Or you just stand on the street in front of his house and just fling it around a little.
Yeah, a little helicopter dick action.
Yeah.
But no, that's the big problem is people just look at this thing like as numbers, and it's not just numbers, right? And it's people, and it's I do find funny is for the people who throw out the numbers and go, well, it's 99.9%. So it started at 99.9% survivable, and every time I see a new one come out, it's like a virus that's only 96% survivable. It's like you do see your numbers are trending down, right?
Yeah.
I think and I'm not going to lie to you guys, in the beginning, I was very lazy-daisical with it because I was like, oh, okay, whatever, we're doing really good, it's fine. I had a couple of friends over and it was no big deal. And then as I started working with it, and then I saw my associates, start being off because they were asymptomatic or they were feeling sick. And then just how it was affecting everyday business for these guys, and realize that we either have to take it, we either have to do it 100%, or we're never going to get through this. So we can go through another football season with no football. We can, look at hockey right now.
I love that.
Right?
That's
There's
the priority.
one game postponed.
But you're right.
What, Red?
I just said I love that that's the priority. Like we can either follow the restrictions or have no football. And that's bullshit.
Listen, if there's no football this year, I'm putting a man and we're going on that field and playing football.
I've been paying for my season tickets since like last year already. So there better be fucking football this year.
Yeah, well, this last year was the first year I became a Bomber for life. So I was all pumped. I was like, yeah, I'm going to pay this off, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, no football. I was like, God damn it.
It's a pandemic.
Now
They
what
did
am
it
I
on
gonna
purpose. They rigged it so that they get your money and then they just cancel the
Those
season.
sons of bitches, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they actually gave me an option. They said they could like pay back all my money or I can keep paying it. And then I would just be a year ahead all the time. So then I was like, hey, done.
I did the same thing. Yeah, they said you could either, because I had a credit, because obviously there was no season, so that you can either keep it as a credit and just sort of put that towards your next year, or we can reimburse you most of it and then you just start paying it again. And I'm like, oh, just give me some money back and then just I'll re-up, like just keep paying it, but whatever. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, there's been a lot of flack about sports being back and hockey being approved while like a lot of community rinks weren't allowed to be open when they first did it. And now that they are, and it's like, yeah, I get it. Like I've had some friends say that. They're like, well, how the fuck is hockey a priority? And I'm like, I get it. Totally understand. It's not a priority, but I'm so glad it's back.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Even if it's not for the sanity of like being able to go out, but now we get to enjoy things. We were watching the Canada Junior game and we were like, hey, let's Skype and watch it together. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like now we have that option again, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Well,
I feel for the smaller clubs like WHL and you know the MJHL, you know, that have, you know, shut down seasons because of this. But I'll tell you that, you know, if we feel and deem that that's appropriate, then that's fine. But I know Saskatchewan's numbers are the same. They haven't shut down restrictions whatsoever.
Or at least not as much. I know they had some, but yeah, it's aren't they on the uptick?
Sorry,
I feel like they were trending upward recently too. Saskatchewan was having some.
They are now. I think they were hitting like 500 a day or something right now.
Yeah. So, and I know that they were talking about extending restrictions there, but they just knocked down capacities to keep the smaller businesses open. So, you know, if you were 5,000 square feet, you're only allowed to have, you know, 8 people in your building at one time.
Yeah.
Right. So they didn't limit. You couldn't buy jeans or you couldn't buy, you know, all this stuff.
Yeah.
They don't have that. So the smaller mom and pop shops that are, you know, opened up to sell Levi's could still sell Levi's.
Yeah. It seems so weird to me. That said, I'd almost rather our government have really specific things that you can and can't buy than apparently the new Ontario during their lockdown and stuff. They essentially said something like, we can't determine what products are essential for you or your family or whatever. So basically you need to use your own judgment or something at the time, blah, blah, blah. Like, so you can't have restrictions and then just say, you just figure out what you need, you know, what's essential to you. And then, but on the flip side, we're like, apparently in Manitoba, you could buy clearance Christmas cards, but you couldn't buy birthday cards. And, you know, it's silly. It doesn't make any sense. But I'd rather it be very specific and granular than just say...
You can buy staples.
Yeah.
You can buy staples, but you can't buy a stapler.
Exactly. It's like basically you can buy the left shoe, but you can't buy the right shoe, right? That's basically what it feels like. Yeah. But that said, I'd almost rather have that than just, you go in and we'll decide at the time, because that just adds an extra burden on these frontline workers that don't need an extra burden, right? Like it's...
For sure it does.
I don't know.
What are they going to do? Look at you and go, you sure you need that fucking stapler, buddy? Huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to put this back behind the counter.
You don't need those picks.
Yeah, like you talk about, you know, violence against cashiers, people getting pissed off. Imagine if they got to pick and choose what you were taking home. And what you weren't.
You don't need those chips, fatty.
And there was stores in Manitoba that were doing that. They had people hired that they were walking around and pulling things out of their cart, saying that's not essential.
Wow. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it.
I don't know. Like I like a place like Sault Ste. Marie, like where my in-laws are from. Now that's a city of 70,000 people, so it's, you know, 3 times the size of Steinbach and smaller than Winnipeg, but still a big area. And like they've run They had a little tiny bit of an outbreak this past couple of weeks, but up from March until now, they just kept restrictions the whole time. It was no more than 10 people in here, no more than 200 in Walmart, and they had masks indoors from like week 3 of the pandemic. And they didn't have more than 10 cases in their whole city and their whole district in Ontario until like 2 weeks ago. Where now they suddenly have 30, and it's like if we would have done that the whole time here, we could have had everything open still.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And out of those 30 that they got, how many of them were healthcare workers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many of them?
There was a good percentage. Yeah.
Absolutely, and I mean you can look at our numbers and say, because when I read this thing, I go down and I'm like, okay, there was 5 people in their 70s, 2 in their 80s, a couple in their 90s. Okay, well, that's 7 people. Where did the other 180, or 60 come from?
Yeah.
And you know what? It's our frontline workers. It's our healthcare workers that are getting sick, that are contracting COVID. And then, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. They're essential workers. But those are the ones that are getting sick, right? I don't know if it's the Donny that goes to work and comes home and has a mask. I'm not saying I'm not susceptible to getting it.
Yeah.
But I'm not around people every day. I had 2 ladies come in 2 weeks ago, and they had just finished. They had COVID. They just finished their 14-day quarantine.
Yeah.
And that day they came into the store, and she was talking to me about it. I took like 5 extra steps back, and I was like, all right. Yeah, so how about them Blue Jays?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's depressing.
But that's what the doctor said, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks quarantine, you're not feeling sick, you get to go out.
Exactly. And and that's another thing, that it's not, they give these like hard edges, but it's really, they basically did the studies, and the vast majority of people after 14 days are less than, what was it, something like 2% infectious or something after 14, something minuscule, right? So the risks are low. And like with anything, with most of this stuff, the odds are low. Like even if Randy and I were still recording in person and we brought one person in every week and did podcasts, the odds are so low, right? Like we get that. The chance of transmission is very, very low. But like we don't want a $1,300 fine, and we don't want to even take the chance, especially like I'm doing schoolwork, Hallie's in daycare, Darius works, Randy works, we all work. It doesn't make sense. If we can do this just as easily as sitting down with someone, we may as well just do this, right?
Yeah, and if it's 0.02% risk factor, you guys are trying to stop that 0.02%.
Exactly.
And if everyone did 0.02% of an effort to not do it, we'd probably all be in a different situation right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Just imagine being in the UK
where we get 200 people gathering on the stairs of Steinbach City Hall,
I know,
not having masks, saying "stick Corona up yours."
Yeah, it's just And what's weird to me is that the RCMP actually closed the street for them. They had barricades up, and the RCMP was there. Like, why are you letting them get a permit? Why are you closing the fucking street? It doesn't make any sense.
Listen, Biden's having an inauguration in 2 days, and he's got 400,000 troops, and it's via Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. We're gonna go storm Steinbach City Hall, and
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's, oh boy, yeah, the world is a weird place. Anyway, let's talk about something more fun. What should we? What are we thinking? What's on your mind, boys?
We talked briefly about football and stuff. Football's been a pretty big part of myself and Donnie's life for quite a while. All your kids have gone through it now. Are they all? I guess with COVID, their season was over, but they're not aged out yet, right? Darian's not aged out, I don't think, and AJ would be just coming into major.
AJ played major last year, a year early. So, or not last year, the year before. They brought him in a year early. Which was super good for him to get that experience. Darian, he has 1 year left. So and
Right.
so will Mac, right?
Yeah.
So, and then so football's been a huge part of our life. Watching you play and Mac play and Darian and AJ play football, just the growth that it's been. I mean, you can tell that we're a football family from our wedding photos, and right?
100%.
Exactly. So yeah, you know what? It's been a huge part of our life, but I think it was the dedication from like the whole family, right? Like mom was a dedicated football mom and grandma, right?
Mhm.
You know, your mom, Danny, and Russ have been dedicated football parents, and you know, while dad watched from his room.
Yeah.
Only when
Yeah, but
Maury
no,
was on
it's-
commercial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
while he's watching Discovery Channel.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Watching some cheetah eat some gazelle somewhere and
Exactly.
reading the newspaper, the one at Winnipeg Free Press.
Yeah.
Telling Mac to tackle him, but it's a cheetah.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, it's always been a big part of our lives. I know you've been a Bomber fan for forever.
Woo-woo.
Where did your fandom start with the Bombers, and how was this championship winning season for you?
Well, my fandom really started back, I think, Chris Walby and Miles Gorell were on the team. And I remember clear as day, my grandpa brought us down to the old stadium. And out comes, you know, Chris Walby and Miles Gorell, and Grandpa walks up there with me, and these guys are shaking my hand, and I'm just this young fan going, oh, you know, I mean, just a short little take. These guys are, to me, a giant.
Yeah.
And that's really where it started for me. I'm a local boy, right? I think it's important to support our local programs. And I don't like any other team, except for Saskatchewan because they suck.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Hey now.
No
yeah.
shame. Nope. Fuck the Riders. Go Bombers.
There's a reason why baby poop is green. True. Can't deny.
True.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What it's the
Absolutely.
beauty of that is that you can Randy, you mentioned Hallie had a big shit explosion this morning or right
She
before we
did.
started
She
recording.
did.
So you can just grab your Rider jersey and give it a quick wipe and you don't even have to wash it.
You know what? It's fucking unreal how perfect it is.
Perfect. You can wear it to work, and people will be like, "Oh, is that a new Saskatchewan jersey?" You bet it is.
Yeah. Yuck. How did you feel, Donnie? I know that you and Jess knew someone that worked for the Bombers or whatever, so you got the Grey Cup to your house or something. I gotta say,
Reg was very upset with you.
I was.
I'm going to tell you this right
I
now.
gotta say, we were talking about. I think we briefly on the show, maybe more off the mic, but I gotta say, you can't pick it up if you didn't win it. Shame on you.
I'll tell you, I had no idea it was coming. I was sitting in the house with Darian and Paige. She was the general manager of the Bomber store.
Hmm.
It was coming to Winkler that Monday. So she booked it so she could take it home with her because I guess full-time staff members get to pick times where they can share it with their family and friends or whatever. And all of a sudden I'm sitting smoke, and Jess was like, "No, you're not going for a smoke. You don't need a smoke." And I was like, "Listen, bitch, I'm 45 years old. I can smoke if I want to smoke." And then, so anyway, I sat in the house, and then all of a sudden I hear, "Donnie," and it's Paige, and she walks in with a Grey Cup. And it just, like, blew my mind. And I was like, "Hey, what, you know what? First of all, I don't want to touch it."
Yeah.
Because it's the Grey Cup.
Because you shouldn't.
And then I realized 500,000 people have touched this cup. I'm touching it. I'm gonna drink beer out of it. I am gonna fondle it.
So
And
disrespectful.
I did, guys.
I can't. The fan in me, like I saw the Grey Cup when it came to Steinbach as well. When we met Adam Bighill there as well, he came and whatever, was taking pictures with people and stuff. Super small guy, by the way. But even then, I was standing right beside it.
Small but swole. Let's not underestimate his size.
He will fucking destroy you. He'll run right through you. But short little guy. Anyway, nice guy, friend of the show, former guest. Check it out. But no, like I was standing beside it while it's on its plinth or whatever, the table that it's on, and I couldn't bring myself to even touch it, even though Kat touched it. But even I was at the Hockey Hall of Fame a couple years, actually 2017 or whatever, the year you got married, Randy. Was it 2017?
Yes,
whatever year that was.
Yeah.
When we went out to the Sioux, we went to Toronto first, spent a couple of days there, so we went to the Hockey Hall of Fame. And so we went walking around, and we went to the room where the Stanley Cup is, and I think it might have been the replica, because it was in the summertime, so likely whoever won the Cup that year, Washington? No, Washington was the year after, 17, Pens? I don't remember. Whoever won 2017, they probably had the real one on some lake while they're, fucking their lady on it or something. Yeah, they're doing something dirty with it, probably. But anyway, even when we were standing there, I was beside, even if it was a replica, I didn't even touch it then. I was looking at my brain, I'm like, oh my God.
The Penguins were the winners that year.
That's what I thought, yes. But I couldn't even do that. And something in my brain, another friend of mine actually did the same. He worked for Golden West at the time, and he ended up lifting up the cup as well, the Grey Cup. And so I just told him, I was like, man, you can't do that. you didn't win it.
Hi, Donny.
I was.
Kat says hi.
I was like a fat kid on a Smartie. It got put in my house. I was like, wow. I did win it.
No, you didn't. You didn't win it.
Yeah,
I can't.
I won the lottery in my garage.
I get it.
The only way you have any right to touch it now is if you put your name on the Grey Cup fan base.
Ugh.
I did.
There you go. Well, there you go.
Yeah. I refused.
No, I didn't. No.
It's too expensive.
We did do crazy things with it, though.
Oh, it's blasphemy.
I put my dick in it.
Yeah.
I said, hey, Jess, use a dick in a cup.
No, it's just sacrilegious. I can't condone that, Donnie. You can't do that.
Well, I'm sorry I upset you, but I'm really not sorry.
Nor should you be. And frankly,
what if the Stanley Cup like fell off its podium onto you and you touched it? Would you feel shame?
Well, no, because then you're doing a public service. You're a hero. You're saving the cup.
Yeah.
But I've seen videos of like cup champs, or they're like in a bar or whatever, and they're just
see them when they won it. Harris broke the cup twice.
Yeah, no, and I get it. But if you are the winner, and you then hand it to like your mom or something, then
right.
That's great. But like if you're also the winner and you're in fucking Cowboys and you hand it to some drunk douche who then kisses it and like lifts it as though he deserves it. No, I'm not cool with that.
Well, I didn't deserve it, but I was taking full advantage.
Yep, I get it. It's just one of those things that I can't. I don't know. My brain just doesn't let me.
Condone.
No, my brain just won't let me.
Well, and you know what? I respect that totally, but I was like totally fan-struck when it came into my house. Like,
yeah,
I didn't know what to do. I was like, at first, I was like, "Woo, yeah! Oh my God, this is so awesome!" AJ here.
Yeah. That said, I would love to have it in my house, but I don't know.
Okay, so I'll put this out here then. So, odds we're having a CFL season. I'll give it to each of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And if we do, what are the Eskimos going to be called?
Mm-hmm.
And who's going to be in the Cup game this year?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Well, I think that we're a high percentage for there to be football this year, just because the NHL is a much wider aspect of money coming in for TV rights and radio rights, and the owners are getting supplemented. Don't kid yourself.
Yeah.
But I think that Randy Ambrose is really going to come through with a plan, even if we start with no fans. But there's no reason why we can't. if NFL is running, and again, I know it's not the same money, but if NFL can run with a 25% capacity, there's no reason why we can't run with a 10 or 15% capacity. And you just keep you keep the vendors closed. You keep the food stations closed and stuff, so that you can't have the people gathering there, right?
You go to your seats, you watch the game, you leave.
You leave. Right, but then you let them bring in a bottle of water if they want to bring in a bottle of water, or you keep the water stations open, or you put more water stations in, or whatever the case is, right? Yeah. I absolutely think that it can work. I think that you're going to see a lot of minor hockey start opening up in the next probably month and a half, where there's just the parents aren't going to be able. You're going to drop them off. And you're going to pick them up when hockey's done.
Yeah.
Right?
They actually had...
kids want to play.
Red Wings had... I think it was family and stuff in the stands. They had one small section open and very distanced. But I think it was either family and close friends or something of the players were watching live, which seemed weird to me because it seemed unnecessary, because they're not paying customers. So it really doesn't make any sense to add the extra layer of exposure. But whatever, it was something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But like NFL, up to 4,000 or 5,000 fans in the stadium, right? So, and again, I know the exposure rate. CFL isn't, $100 billion, $200 billion industry. I get that.
Yeah.
But it's an industry that's still, every team is making, $4 or $5 million profit every year.
I don't know if every team.
60, but you know what I mean? Like on an average, if they're making $4 or $5 million profit every year, can they afford to run a season just to make sure? Because I'll tell you that these guys that they're signing and restructuring of contracts, and Claro's taking a deal, Big Hill restructuring his contract,
Harris,
just so they can stay in Winnipeg. Because no other team is going to pay, no other team's going to pay you $260,000, $270,000 a year right now of uncertainty.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, basically, I think from everything I'm hearing this year, every team's front office is basically being told, like, you spend the cap floor and that's it. Like, everybody can get paid next year. We'll worry about it then. But for right now, we need everyone just to kind of get their salaries down so we can. Because I think if they don't run this season, there's a very good chance they don't come back.
Well, I don't know how Toronto's surviving.
CFL will get bought out by somebody else.
Yeah. I don't understand how some of them are. Yeah, with Toronto, with Montreal, with even BC, always seems a little bit on edge to me as far as ownership goes. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's very likely because they're projecting a June start. So by that point, if the province gets their vaccinations in order, and if our numbers trend in the right direction, then there's no reason why there won't be football. Whether or not people come into the stands, I don't know. Like, I get your point that, sure, we can do a reduced capacity, but I don't know if we should be using the NFL as, like, the measuring stick. Because they did...
No, absolutely.
They're sort of just like, we're going to play football, fuck COVID. And then that's sort of kind of how their whole government handled COVID, too. We're just going to do what we do, and 400,000 people will die. But that's sort of the thing.
Absolutely. And, to me, as a season ticket holder, I wouldn't mind again if they said, hey, listen, you know what? We're not going to have fans in the stadium this year, but we're going to have football.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I agree. So as far as likelihood, I'd say maybe it's optimistic, but I'm going to say 70% likely that they're going to have a season this year.
Right. I'm going to say it's going to happen, but I don't think anybody's going to have fans.
No, I feel the same way. Yeah.
But the winners of the cup. I say Winnipeg's in the final for sure, because I think they're putting together a really solid team again. But I say right now I want to say the Red Blacks.
I'm trying to think of the East and who's even dominant anymore, because every
who's
other year,
the best of the worst?
Yeah, over like 99% of the division or the entire division finishes fucking 8-10 if they're lucky.
I mean, it's basically Hamilton and everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see a rematch, a Hamilton Bombers rematch. Maybe.
But what is Edmonton going to be called?
The
Oh man, that's
earwax.
a tough one. Yeah. The Edmonton.
There was that thing that I shared on Facebook a few weeks ago. Apparently, when they put out, they wanted to see what the fans would suggest for names, and one of them was Escargot. They had this whole long list of. I'll quickly see if I can find it. It was an article that was. Yeah, they basically just put out a bunch of. None of these were likely, but they just sort of put them out to see if, what people would vote for if they were going to. The Escargots. Oh, never mind. That just. Oh, here. At first, it was just giving me restaurant lists. So apparently, the leaderboard at the time. This was on the Edmonton Sun. On December 1st. So basically, the leaderboard is the Eagles, the Energy, Elk or Elks, Elite, Empire, Edge, Express, Extreme, Explorers, and Evolution. Many of those suck, but a few of them could be okay.
I would love the Empire. That's my vote.
Yeah, I dig it.
that's a pretty good one.
I like the Empire
Wouldn't
too.
really have to change the logo ever, right?
I'd be curious what the branding would be like. Like, I don't know how they would.
You dress all those motherfuckers up like Darth Vader, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I didn't even think of a Star Wars angle. That's great.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I
Like
could
the
get behind
face
that.
mask you could do up, man. Oh, it'd be so good.
Yeah, I think that'd be my pick probably. Not the Extreme, because that's a terrible name. That's like an XFL or like an AFL name.
Yeah.
Or yeah, what's the not
Arena
XFL,
football
the other one.
or-
Arena football. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope the XFL comes back now that The Rock owns them, and after COVID and stuff. I really want the XFL to come back.
Yeah, I think they will. I think The Rock. I mean, he's got like unlimited money at this point too. I think he's gonna do. He's pretty good with branding and like getting the message out.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna have a good run once everything's sort of back to normal.
And I would really like to see a league like that, like actually succeed, right?
Agreed.
Mhm.
And then, for somebody like The Rock to own it, and then to, come into the CFL. I know we tried the cross-border thing, and I understand that, but like to bring something like that, to a CFL to say, hey, listen, we can go bigger and better.
Yeah.
Right?
Make them like a farm team. That'd be great. Like it'd be
Yeah,
a track.
just have some kind of working relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I don't know.
No, it'll be good.
Yeah.
As far as finals this year, if it happens, I'm gonna go Roughriders, and not just because I'm a fan, because I think with Fajardo coming back, that's really good news. It sucks having the year in between for everybody, to get that chemistry back. But I'm gonna say Saskatchewan, and I'm gonna pick Montreal as a
The
sleeper.
Schooners. It should be the Schooners.
The Schooners.
Schooners. I can't wait to watch them play.
I hate that name. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
It's not.
I
it's
didn't
well,
like it when I moved, but everything there is the Schooners.
I get it, and it's okay, I guess. I shouldn't say I hate it, but I still say it should be the Atlantic Armada, because you can still do the naval theme, but then it's all battleships and like more aggressive. But a schooner just woo-hoo, like it's just I don't know. It's boring.
Schooner,
You know
that's just
what?
my cup size of Boston pizza. What the fuck?
Yeah, right.
I'm literally hope that that's how they come onto the field.
Just totally just like woo-hoo, and then they're all wearing floaties like a flamingo or something as they run onto the field.
Yeah, arm rings.
Yeah, exactly. I'm curious. Where are they playing out of? Halifax?
Moncton, I
Yes.
think.
Moncton?
No, you're right, Moncton.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they were the first original arena agreement was in Halifax,
Hmm.
but then they chose Moncton for
Mhm.
land or something. It was
Weird. I mean, it makes sense because nothing's in New Brunswick ever except like the Scotties tournament curling. But like otherwise,
Right.
nothing's ever in New Brunswick. But might have
But
to road
that'll
trip
be
it.
very interesting for travel time and stuff like that too. It'll be
Yeah.
very interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, those Vancouver schooner games are gonna be real interesting. It's fucking 4 time
Yes.
zones.
They're gonna play at 4:00 in the afternoon every Sunday.
Yeah, it'll be like 11 at night for the schooners.
Yeah.
That shit's wild. I gotta say, Donnie, I'm super jealous that you're smoking right now, which people listening won't be able to tell, but because I quit and I just want to smoke now.
Sorry, I ran out and then I had to go get more.
Yeah, that's fair. No, it's fine. It's fine. You do you, man. Just torturing me a little bit.
That's fine. As you drink your beer.
Yeah. You got to replace one vice with the other.
Exactly. I don't smoke, but I drink 12 beers a day.
Yeah. I just inhale the beer. I just pour it into my lungs, and it's basically the same thing.
Yeah. Burns all the same.
Yeah. But I hope there's football
so-
back.
Actually,
How
it
about
says
you guys? Now I have a question for you guys.
Shoot.
sure.
So out of 101 episodes or 100 episodes that you put through, what's the one from both of you guys? What is the one thing that you guys take out of all the experience?
That's interesting. What we take out of all the experiences? Again, we've mentioned it many times on previous episodes, but it likely is probably the Indigenous stuff, where it's just stuff that I didn't know at all, and now you hear all these stories and you look more into it. You know, residential schools, Indian Act, racism and incarceration, and just in general white privilege, race stuff. Like, it's just that type of thing. Wasn't really on my radar until we started doing the podcast. And speaking of which, before we move on, another thing that just popped onto my radar that I had never heard of before. But have you guys ever heard of home children?
No.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. So basically, from like I actually still have the tab open. I think I was looking it up. From 1860. Where the fuck is the number here? Shit. I don't know. Sometime in the late 1800s to like roughly the 1930s to the 1945-ish. Basically, Britain would just ship kids to Canada, to Australia, to South Africa, and claim that they were orphaned or poor and they're going to get a better life to get sent here. When in fact, roughly 14% of them were actually orphaned or, destitute and needed the help.
Right.
In many ways, it was, if the parents were like in debt, they would basically ship them over, and then Canadian families would pay a small fee to get these kids, so then they get basically roughly free farm workers. And so these
Nice.
kids would come here and they would get no connection, or the parents they'd kind of agree, and then they'd be like, okay, I've saved up my money to go and get my kid back, because they'd get sent into this home or whatever. And by the time they get there, their kid has been shipped over the sea, which is in 1970, which is basically on Mars. Like, you're never going to see them again.
Right.
And it's like the biggest unknown thing. I'd never heard of it either. It blew my mind.
Wow,
That's
that's crazy.
Yeah. It was something like 150,000 kids or something over
Holy
like
shit.
50, 60, 70 years, something like that, were shipped over.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's nuts. Anyway,
Unreal.
yeah. So that was just an
And is
interesting.
there a lot of those kids that like have come over? I mean, I know that's a long time ago, but is there lots of like documentation of, them coming out and saying, I was one of these kids? And
I don't know if, because it was so long ago, I think they're likely, the original ones are probably all dead, but this website is Canadian British Home Children, basically.com, and they're creating like a registry of documented home children, and then you can sort of you can actually do a database search. I tried it. My last name doesn't come up, but so basically they have something like 82 or 83,000 kids in the registry right now, or people in the registry, and you can go through it and see if you're like a descendant of one of these home children, which apparently something like 10% of the Canadian population is descended from these home children that nobody knows about.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh, that's awesome. And
Yeah,
that's
shit's
what I
wild.
love about watching your guys' show, is because we hear about stuff like this. And it really, honestly, I'm like, I'm going to get off this call and I'm going to on my
Yeah.
phone and be like,
Yeah. Approximately 12%
I'm
were actually
one of those
orphans.
descendants.
Yeah.
You guys might be, actually, because I know pretty well that I'm not, because I haven't looked back into it, but my family's all, Menno Prug land, and they're all in, from South America or from Mexico or from, further back, probably Ukraine and Prussia and stuff. So I don't think there's a whole lot of Britishisms in that. But I mean, you guys might have something in there, and the whole Scottish side, or the, I don't know.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, Donnie, but isn't like Gerri's mom English?
Yeah, so I did my ancestry.ca thing,
Right.
and I'm actually more European than I am like anything else.
That makes
Right.
sense. I mean, frankly, we probably all are.
Yeah.
Right.
But
But-
it blew my mind. Like Norwegian, I was 7% Norwegian, and like it blew my mind when it came up with the percentages, because my dad's dad was straight from Sweden, and my dad's mom was like right off the reserve in Ontario,
Oh, really?
and
Huh.
yeah. So, but I'm only like 6%, indigenous, where I thought it would be a bigger portion, of my heritage. But like England and stuff like that, huge percentages for me. So
I wonder if does that then mean,
I've
Randy,
actually,
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Donnie.
I've actually had conversations on Ancestry with, I guess it would be a fifth cousin of mine on my dad's side from Sweden.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like super cool. Like, she just messaged me and she's like, well, I noticed that in your family history you have a Sigurd Hammer, and I was all like, yeah, that's my dad. And she was like, no, I'm thinking a little bit older. And I was like, okay, well, so my dad is Sigurd, and his dad was Sigurd, and his dad was Sigurd. So I was like, okay, well, maybe it's my great great grandpa or whatever. I mean, clearly it is, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But there, they spell my last name with an O-R.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
So when my grandpa came over, and then off the boat, they changed it to Hammer with an ER. So
Huh. Interesting. It's weird how
they
that works.
didn't know what Hammer meant.
Yeah, well, like with
Hammer.
most things, yeah, like people would show up at Ellis Island in the U.S. and you'd have a lot of whether Jewish immigrants or Eastern Europeans, and they'd come in. Their last name is like Kalashnikov, and they just like, all right, you're a Smith now.
Yeah.
they just make it up half the time, or you could then
Smith.
make your own up. Like a lot of Asians apparently would show up and they wouldn't be able to say it or spell it, so that's how they come up with their English names, right? They're just,
Mhm.
my last name is actually this instead of that or whatever. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But I wonder, Randy, does that then mean that you have indigenous in you more than what I would have thought?
Well, whatever Donnie and I would have in common would come from, I
Gerri.
guess, mom's side, right?
Yeah.
So which would be more
More of the European,
Scottish.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what. Okay.
right? Because Papa his side was all Scottish, right? And then I really don't know much about like Gerri's mom. I know she was from England, and that's about all I know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
and apparently that runs very strong in our heritage and our bloodline. So
Right.
Bunch of
So I'm
colonizers.
gonna have to get me one of these kits and check it out.
Yeah.
you know what? Do it right around October, November, because they go 50% off.
Oh, okay.
So it's like 50% half off, of course, duh. But it's literally like half the price, guys.
Weird.
Like
It's
the
almost
deal I
exactly
used to give
half.
Yeah, it's literally the deal I used to give the Mennonites when they come into pizza out here in Winkler. Hey, but you got to give me one half of the deal. It's like, I'll tell you what. Our normal deal is one at regular price and one at half off. I'm going to give you two at regular, two at half off. Oh yeah, I'll do it.
Yep. The math isn't the strong suit.
Yeah.
That's interesting. But Randy, you need to answer the question too. What's your biggest takeaway?
I would say probably the same in terms of like Indigenous issues and all that, like you had said. And then just personally, just like, don't be afraid to talk to people. And like, if you have something to say, just say it kind of thing. Cause I'm just where I'm a super socially anxious person. I'm very introverted. Unless I know you, I'm usually a pretty introverted person. So for me, just the personal growth of myself, being able to talk to strangers and make it sound somewhat cohesive.
That's what I keep saying. I drag, like 70 people into your house, and eventually you'll get used to talking to them, right?
Eventually, yeah, one day.
He just changes them every 4 minutes.
Yeah. Just switch them through.
Yeah.
Hallie's going to be so confused.
Keep the line moving and wear your mask. Keep the line moving and wear your mask.
What's your name? Oh, no, it's Smith now.
Yeah. Joe Smith, that's all you are.
Yeah. Joseph Smith.
Man, I just met that guy like 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, weird. There's a lot of them here. Super common.
Pretty sure she was Joe Smith too.
That's possible.
Well, I had you guys together too. I did want to say we recently passed the anniversary of Mom's passing.
Mm-hmm.
Gerri Hammer, for those following. And I wanted to get from each of you one of your fondest memories of her. Because anyone who's known her knows she was an awesome lady, like real salt of the earth, fucking everybody who comes in the house as a kid, she's mom to everyone.
Yeah.
So a lot of good times, but is there anything in particular that sticks out to both of you?
Donnie, you can go first. If you have something to come to mind.
I think for me, Randy, the one thing that sticks out to me is no matter how bad things got, whether it be financially, emotionally, anything that we sort of went through, right? Like, I went through a divorce, I went through a rough time, I had back surgery, I had both my hips replaced, and I can't remember a time where, Mom was ever, I don't know. She was, her famous line of "keep your chin up, kiddo, things are going to get better," right?
Yeah.
And I think for me, that's the one thing that I will try to bring through for the rest of my life with anyone that I meet. I'm the same way Mom was with, all my friends and your friends. I'm the same way with the kids' friends here, right? You're always welcome. This will always be a safe haven if you need a place to crash or an escape or an ear. I'm here, right? I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to say no. Just no holes in my house.
Yeah. I can't imagine how annoying we must have been to Gerri. Like
oh God, for sure.
We're there, and there might be 5 or 6 fucking hooligans wrestling in the kitchen at all hours of the day or night, or we're watching some dirty movie in the living room, or we're eating all of their food, or drinking all the pop and using up all of her coffee whitener to make fireballs in the backyard. And I can't imagine how difficult that must have been, but very seldom did she give a shit for it. But in general, like I'm trying to remember what year I would have met Gerri, probably grade 11-ish, something like that. So like 2006 or so.
Yeah, because we had class together in grade 10 was when we met.
Yeah.
So probably, but that was only brief. We didn't really start hanging out until grade 11. So yeah, so probably 20 or 2006, I guess.
Yeah, so basically, I knew her for a long while, and there's most of it is just general kind of sweetness, where you walk in and she calls you sweetie or cupcake, or she'll have some like little thing to just sort of call, especially with her really gravelly voice. It was always kind of nice. The one thing that stands out to me, it's not even a very sweet memory, but we were, I think it was, might have been all of us. I don't remember who was all there, but we were sitting in the dining room, and clearly we were being too noisy. And she walks out just in her like nightgown, and very quietly but super aggressively was like, "Shut the fuck up!" And then and just the look in her eyes, everybody's like, "Oh my god, sorry, Gerri, sorry. Yeah, we'll be quiet. And it was one of those things where it's like she would never normally say that, but it was probably 3 a.m. and we're being a bunch of fucking morons. And and I don't know, it just sort of stuck in my brain as it was sort of sweet, because the next day it was as if it never happened, right? It was just like, you guys need to quiet down, and I'm done fucking around, and and I don't know, that type of stuff. There's many things, but so it's been 9 years now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, rest in peace, Gerri Hammer.
Absolutely. It was I think out of all the years, yesterday was the toughest day I've had since.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird. I had a dream the night before, I woke up, I was struggling with work and, just going through life challenges and stuff. And then it was just yesterday was like just one of the hardest days. I think out of all the 9 years, other than it like the day she passed, but it was definitely a hard day.
Yeah.
So
for sure. Yeah, I struggle with it more. Like the last few years, I've been okay. I struggle with it more now, having Hallie, and like that they could never meet. Like I'm gonna choke up just talking about it. But like
she would have loved
they
her.
never got to interact and hang out, because I know Mom would have like just been over the moon about it.
Yeah.
And I know you guys might not be big believers in this, but I'll tell you that, I can feel Mom here with me sometimes, especially when we have the grandkids over. Like Olivia will be in her room, and that's my granddaughter, my pride and joy. And she'll be in her room, and she'll just be playing and just talking by herself and playing with these little horsies, and then I'll ask her, I'm like, "Oh, you're just playing with your horses?" "Yeah, I'm just playing with my friend." And it just, you know what I mean? I'm a big believer in that that our loved ones are here to help us and guide us still. And I know she's with us, and I know she's with you guys every single day, buddy. Like every single day.
Sure.
You go through a hard time, and don't think for a second she's not trying to nudge you in the right direction.
Sure.
Because I know she is, and I know that she loves us all, and I know that she would have gave anything to be here with us. But at the same time, we don't know when our time is up, but we got to live it to the fullest.
Absolutely.
And being part of the struggle, I think this is what I'm struggling with COVID the most, right? Because I very much want to go to ones that, have tattoos on their arms and stuff, and give them a hug and say, you know what, like, and exactly, Reg, and to celebrate those things, right?
Yeah.
As sad as we are, we have to remember how Mom touched our lives, and everything that she did for us and will continue to do for us. That's what I'm trying very hard to push myself to think like that every single day, because I know that's what she wants. The more successful we are, I know that that's exactly where she wanted us. So 6 guys wrestling in a kitchen, and now look at where you guys are. And she had a big part of that, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, she was one of the best, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's always, I always have a ton of good memories. One that always sticks out for me is when we had the party, the aforementioned party that Reg puked for the first time. And it was like, might have been 12:30 or 1 o'clock, and I guess some of the girls had been sneaking into we only had one bathroom in the house. They'd been going to the bathroom and giggling and talking and doing whatever and laughing, and Mom just came out and gave me a look. Her hair fucking all sticking up sideways from sleeping, and just like, everybody's got to get the fuck out right now, or I'm gonna lose it. I was like, okay, everybody's got to go. See you later.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You
cleared the
don't
house
even
out.
question it, right?
No.
Yeah.
You never questioned it.
Yeah, you just knew. It never had to get past that. It was always good. And then
It's
even
always-
just
yeah.
the night before everything started happening it sticks out to me because it was me, Tyrone, and Dad and Mom, and we were just hanging out, and we were like, oh, let's get Chinese for supper. And we were debating it for like an hour, and then it was just like, you know what? She's like, fuck it, Chinese is too expensive. Let's just get pizza. Let's have a good time.
Mm.
And like to this day, like that was the last interaction I had with her. And it was like, oh, yeah, that's just kind of Mom. It's just like, just fuck it. Let's just go with the flow, and
Yeah.
whatever happens,
Yep.
happens. But we're all together, and we're going to have fun and have a good time.
Yeah.
Absolutely, right? Like, so I remember clear as day because I was in the hospital and Mom had just started texting and she was coming to see me because my surgery was supposed to be Friday night.
Right.
And then I text her saying they moved me up to Saturday morning. And she said, well, I'll be there when you wake up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, see you then, can't wait. And then Mom had said, oh, I can't wait till you're all better. You're going to be a totally different person. I'm so looking forward to it,
Mhm.
whatever. And I was like, hey, love you. And then that was it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's Mom, right? Even
Mhm.
though, she tried to learn how to text and hey, let's make a Facebook account and
Yeah.
that I'm never going to use, but I want to be part of the group.
Yeah.
And then she
I was so mad at
single-handedly
myself at the time, just after she had passed, because I was like, she bugged me for so fucking long to make one, and I was like, Mom, just piss off. I don't want to make one right now.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
just takes all time, and I'm like, you're old, you don't understand it. And I just like, it took me a long time to get over that and be like, hey, that, like, you didn't know that was going to happen. That wasn't your
Yeah.
fault.
Yeah.
But yeah, just dealing with that for a while, I was always so mad at myself, and now I'm okay with it. But
Yeah.
I find it interesting. That's how it always is. Like she's probably, yeah, she's likely the closest person to me that's passed away in my life. And I, even when I think back, like both my grandpas passed away, but one of them when I was 15 and we weren't close, and
Right.
the other one when I was like 5, so I didn't know him. But yeah, you always kind of think about like what you could have done differently or what you should have done, or like your last interaction, and you're like, well, fuck, like, as though somehow she'll remember it or something, even though she's
Mhm.
passed on or whatever, you can't help but think that like I should have done something better. But yeah, no, it's
You're absolutely right, Ed. Like
Yeah.
I was peeved off at my family, and Jessica for almost a year, right? I mean, here I am about to go for life-altering surgery, and my mom gets sick and has a stroke, and I could have been there.
yeah,
I was mad. I was like,
yeah,
I mean, I remember clear as day, Randy and them walking into the room, and I'm like, hey, where's my mom?
yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
But I was pissed off. I am legitimately pissed off because I was like, but then I understood, right? I read the text message that said, I can't wait till you get better. If I
Mhm.
wouldn't have it, I wouldn't have got better, right?
mm,
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but it takes a long time. What could I have done anything different? Could I
Yeah.
have said anything different, right?
For
Yeah.
sure. And that was tough for us too, because like to preface
Well-
it, so when this happened, Donnie was going in for, is it your hip or your spine?
My spine, yeah.
So it's to get a spine surgery so he could walk basically. And this all happened with Mom the night before, so we had to debate for a long time whether to even tell Donnie
yeah,
what happened, because we didn't want him to cancel this because he really needed it and we knew he would. So that's why he was upset with us.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And absolutely, I would have canceled. There's no
Yeah.
ifs, ands, or buts, right? I would have walked the streets with my bare ass and my gown to get there.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and Gerri like single-handedly supported the romantic novel industry. So
Yes.
Yeah,
In the trunk of that Neon, there'd always be like half a dozen fucking scantily clad males and females on the cover of these books. And like, oh Jesus,
Did you
we're
guys
reading.
ever bring those books into the thrift store?
I don't know. Mom might still have a bunch kicking around at home, but she might
'Cause I
have.
was gonna say there's some lucky Mennonites out there.
It's changing lives. Yeah. Fuck. But yeah, definitely.
Dave's getting lucky this week.
Yeah. France, come on here. Valdi Facker. Anyway, that. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Randy. I was thinking of bringing it up, but I didn't want to be like the one to bring it up, and like like if the family members bring it up, then we'll do it.
For sure, no. She was an awesome lady, and anyone listening who knows her will know that hands down. She had a big impact on a lot of people in the community, even just from running Pizza Hut for so many years. Like I had people I didn't even know come up to me and be like, "Oh, she was such an awesome lady," and I don't think the Pizza Hut's ever run nearly as good since she left, but
I'm surprised it's still open.
She made a lot of difference just even through that work.
Yeah.
Donnie, you were very loud.
Yeah.
I'm loud.
Just your background noise. You're good now.
What? It's just me.
Just go ahead.
Just dropping, just taking a shit.
Maybe I'm taking big, deep drags of this cigarette.
Maybe.
It was some weird like.
Anyway, continue. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I think her outreach, but not just, and you guys are doing the same thing in your own little way, right? Like the guests that you've had on your show and the experiences that they've gone through and the opportunity to share that and the amount of viewers that you have. And that's amazing work. And you guys should be very proud that you guys are contributing to the world where, people are scared to voice their opinions or scared to say certain things. You come on the Two Idiots podcast and you don't have to be scared of shit.
Nah, you say whatever you want. Fucking chemtrails, bro. Flat earthers. I want to get a flat earther on the show. Donnie, do you believe the earth is round or no?
Well, yeah.
What a sheep. Do some research. Figure your shit out.
Well, I think it has to be round because look how round I am.
That totally makes sense. It's like,
yeah, that all jives.
Not the fact that not the fact that every astronaut and scientist and person that's done math would not that they all being bought off, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Astronauts, scientists.
They're just on a TV set somewhere. Fucking guys, they're not. Yeah. They're not in space.
I can watch Star Trek all day long. There is.
That's all they ever do. Yeah, fucking waste of money on this flat Earth. Fuck. But yeah, no, I appreciate the kind words, Donnie. Again, this show, for people that have listened from the beginning, sorry, but also like it's become this weird thing that neither of us planned. We just, we started having guests, and it wasn't even supposed to be a super regular thing, and then now it is the thing. So it was accidental, but I'm glad you're enjoying it.
And that's good, because that's what this world needs. And whether it's your group of friends that are listening, or so. Adam Bayfield being on the show and talking about his experiences and going through his life, we're all human, right?
Yep.
No matter whether or not we're a politician or a sports athlete or a superstar or work for retail companies. No matter, we're all human at the end of the day.
Yep.
So we're all gonna get sick. We're all gonna drink beers at one time, or have a shot of whiskey, or go through a pandemic together. We're we're all human.
Yep.
So
yep, we're all doing it. We're all doing it.
Well, except for the guys on Star Trek, they're not really human.
There's a new one. They're very busy. The Star Trekkers. They're always busy saving the world and sleeping with aliens, and which weirdly always have their vaginas in the right spot, which I wouldn't think is likely.
No, I thought it would be like maybe in their armpit.
Isn't that where they always are?
Well,
What are you talking about? I'm doing it all
in the
wrong.
girls I've met.
Hey, where have you been putting it? It's not in the armpit?
Yeah.
Oh.
They said their family came over in 1875. So I don't know.
It was different back then. It was different.
They told me his name was Joe Smith. I was like, whatever.
Yeah. You one of them armpit pussies, eh? Okay.
Ah.
Oh,
I don't know if that'd be good or bad. Anyway.
Ah, that's awesome.
Anyway,
So
I should probably eat lunch. What do we think here?
Yeah.
Should we dial her down?
You
Sure.
start shutting her down.
Randy's been intermittent fasting, so he's about to pass out over there. So
Yeah,
I can tell his cheeks are all red. He's either drinking scotch or he's hungry.
I'm hungry. I'm now 19 hours and 15 minutes into my fast.
nice.
Oh, nice.
Can
good
be
job,
trimmed right
buddy.
out. Yeah.
Trying.
I'm hold on 52 minutes into my fast.
I had a bagel before our first.
And it's about to change.
Yeah.
as soon
Yeah,
as
I'm
I
gonna eat
walk
right after this.
inside.
So I probably went 2 hours fasted.
57-minute fast. That's what I do.
Start your own trend. Start your own like Instagram and like your health thing, and just like this is my
Do
program.
it.
Give me $30 a month, and I'll tell you how to get results
I'll
like
tell you
me.
how to fast every 57 minutes.
It's difficult. It's a grind, but you got the trick is to eat every 57 minutes. That's what it is.
Awesome,
1,000
guys.
calories.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's thanks for having me on. I know it wasn't as funny as I planned, but
Oh, it's perfect. It was perfect, Donnie.
Nothing wrong with
Awesome.
that. They don't all have to be funny, and we got some laughs. We had fun.
That's right.
It's good.
We got more
Well,
laughs
well,
from you than possibly the stand-up comedian we had prior, so that's saying something.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, he makes more money than
Not necessarily, not during COVID, but
I do. GoFundMe page.
yeah, OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Go to Patreon. Two Idiots Podcast.
you
Everybody. speaking of supporting people. But anyway, thanks, Donnie.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Go Saints, go.
Go
Sure.
Bills.
They're gonna win it this year, Andy.
Bills are taking it. We got all the momentum. We're doing it. If they win, I told Reg I'm jumping through a table.
Like what kind of table?
I don't know. I'm gonna find one though. I'm gonna jump
Like a-
through it.
Like a plastic $59 table.
Just a
from
TV
Walmart.
tray.
Max beer pong table.
Yeah. No, I've already moved for that.
That's true. That's true.
You got to
But it
dive
wasn't
bomb
me,
through.
it was that other asshole.
You got to dive bomb through Danny and Russ's pool table.
Oh Lord, Russ would kill me.
But
Awesome, guys. Well, I look forward to the time where we can all get together and we can all hang out again, reminisce
sure.
about good times, drink
Yeah,
some
buddy.
beers. Tell Kat I said hi.
will
Tell
do.
Darius and the baby I say hi.
I shall.
All right, man.
And say hi to your cats, Reg.
Well, they were here for the last one, but they left. They don't need highs. They don't care about people. But thank
No,
you.
they're dicks, eh?
They are dicks. Yeah, complete assholes.
Yeah, cats are dicks.
Yeah. Anyway,
I
thanks,
didn't-
Donnie. See you later.
No cats were hurt in this episode.
No more than usual. All right, man. Have a good day.
All right, see you later.
too, guys.
Bye.
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 Wonderful. All right, so you're back with us, El Two Idiotos. That was Donny Hammer. Sigurd Hammer.
Sigurd Hammer.
Hammer.
But no, that's something I want to do is start diving into my family history a little bit more. So maybe I'll get one of those kits. We'll see. Would
I've
want
heard
the
they're
government
not
to have my spit though.
I've heard they're not super accurate though.
No, like my dad got one. They're okay. Like they're always updating the results and changing like where your DNA is coming from. So I don't know, but like even through that, like I've had a couple people message like my dad's account and be like, hey, you have a cousin so and so from Saint Lazare and whatever. And so there's been a few connections through there.
Yeah, I just kind of want to do. I might go through kind of like all the old Mennonite families have those like family books with like
Right.
all the wives and whatever, family tree stuff. I
Yeah,
want to go through
Darius's
that.
family does one similar. Every 3 years they update the family tree and they put out a book.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not cool, but it's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see kind of our background and kind of where my family's from. Because I would basically only know like up to my grandparents. I don't really know anybody past my grandparents, which is
Right.
kind of sad.
For sure. I hear you. I'm in the same boat.
Anyway,
Shall we get the hell out of here, Reg?
let's before we do that, find us on Instagram at Two Idiots Podcast, on Facebook, Two Idiots Show. Nope. Search for Two Idiots Podcast on Facebook, and on Twitter, it's Two Idiots Show.
There
on
you go.
YouTube, Two Idiots Podcast. Check them out.
Email doubleidiotspodcast@gmail.com and patreon.com/2idiotspodcast if you would like to support the show.
Yep. We have some levels there. Hit us up, support us, help us out. We appreciate any dollar you're willing to give. We have different tiers.
It's only going
going
to
on.
make your experience better, we promise.
Exactly. Also, go to, if you need some merch, by the end of January, we're donating, or until the end of January, we're donating 10% of all of the proceeds from our merch shop, which is at teespring.com/stores/2-idiots-podcast. Go there, get yourself a shirt, a mug, a mask, a sweater. Get yourself something.
Get yourself something nice. Buy yourself something pretty.
Something nice. Yeah, get yourself something. Treat yourself, queen.
Treat yourself.
King.
Yes, queen.
Yes. Go get yourself some. Like I said, 10% goes to our local food bank, Southern, what's it called? Southeast Helping Hands. That's the name.
Yes.
Check them out. Yeah, give us a follow, like, review, subscribe, tell a friend. I think we're getting some decent exposure, but the more the
For sure.
merrier. Let's get more
Yeah,
people.
and
in
like
this-
word
in
of
this
mouth
bitch.
is still huge from us. Even, telling a friend to just check it out. Send them one episode. If they like it, they might listen to more.
Yep.
They might
like
not,
that.
but who knows?
That's a
just
good
take
idea.
a chance.
It's a good idea. Go through, if you're listening to this, and if you're an avid listener or a first-time listener, and if this is your favorite episode, or if you have favorite episodes from the past, we challenge you to copy it and send it to one friend this week. Just send your favorite episode to somebody, regardless of which one it is. There's over 100 of them now, so you get to choose.
A lot of nonsense to sift through.
Yeah, and some important stuff, but a lot
And some
of
really good
nonsense.
ones.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed. We went kind of rambly there, kind of heartfelt, kind of football-y. This was a fun one, though.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, except thank you for listening. Enjoy your day, Randy. Enjoy your day, listeners. We love you. Thank you.
You as well, sir. We love you all. Thank you very much.
Yep. That's all for today.
Bye-bye.